girl, welcome back to the Her Best Self podcast. Today I want to talk to you about something that was extremely pivotal in my recovery journey: safety. And if you're missing these three types of safety, it might be why you are feeling stuck in the mud, face down, quite frankly. But every woman in recovery needs these three fundamental safety nets. These three things are a safe place, a safe space, and a safe face. And here's the good news, sis. If you don't have these right now, you can absolutely create them. In fact, creating your own safety net might be the most important promise that you make to yourself on this journey. So let's dive into what these three safes are, why they're so essential for your recovery, and how you can build them starting today. Hey girl, welcome to the Her Best Self podcast. I'm Lindsay Nickel, former competitive figure skater and perfectionist, turned God-led imperfect boy mom and digital CEO. If you find yourself constantly thinking about food and wondering if you'll wake up one day free from the obsessive thoughts and behaviors controlling your life, then I've created this podcast for you, because I know exactly what it's like to be a downright hot mess, trapped in the destructive cycle of disordered eating. I finally found freedom, and you can too, girlfriend. So if you're ready to heal your relationship with food and body and break the chains of control and show up in your best health, then grab your favorite Tarjay journal and let's get to it, so you can start living your best life as your best self. Hey sis, welcome back to the show. I'm so happy to be here with you today. As I was prepping for today's episode, I wanted to come on strong. I wanted to give you something to just shake you and to bring home this message of why safety matters so much in your recovery journey. So here it is. Check yourself, sis, before you wreck yourself. Have you heard that saying? Your nervous system cannot heal when it doesn't feel safe. And when you've been in a constant dysfunction with living in an eating disorder brain and body and being malnourished, your brain has been in constant survival mode, and so has your body. And so the outside world feels super threatening. It can feel so dangerous. Food feels dangerous. Even your own thoughts feel super unsafe, because as you start accepting that these thoughts might not be actual truths, you start questioning every single thought that enters in your mind. And what I've realized is that recovery requires safety. And what I mean around safety is not just physical safety, but I'm talking emotional, mental, and relational safety. Without these safety nets, you're literally trying to heal in the same environment that contributed to your disorder. It's like trying to heal a wound while someone keeps picking at it. But when you create safety, healing becomes possible, and your nervous system can finally exhale and sit down. And so if you've been in this constant fight or flight of one day feeling, okay, I'm moving forward, the next day feeling just entirely defeated, I want you to really lean into this episode and listen to what I have to talk about when it comes to safety. The first safe that I want to talk about is your safe place, your physical environment where you can retreat and you can recharge. This is your physical sanctuary. I want you to protect it. For me, in my recovery, this was my bedroom, specifically my bed. And I know that sounds simple, but it was my cocoon. It was where I could wrap up in blankets, feel warm, and reflect away from the day and the chaos of the real world. But here's what's important. This wasn't isolation. This was intentional sanctuary. I also found safety in nature, walking between recovery sessions, sitting by water, going to the beach and feeling the sand underneath my toes, and just feeling grounded by something bigger than my internal chaos and my current situationship. And so when you think about a safe place, that might be for you, a corner of your bedroom with soft lighting or cozy textures. It might be a spot in nature where, like me, you're feeling so much peace. It might be a quiet coffee shop where you can journal out your thoughts, or even just sitting in your car when your family is not bothering you, needing a gazillion things, but you're listening to some calming music. And here's how to create a safe place at home. If you don't really feel like right now you might have one, I want this place to be yours, completely yours, and remove anything that triggers comparison or anxiety. Add things to this place that feel really good to your nervous system. Maybe that is soft blankets, calming scents, lighting a candle, your favorite journal, your favorite pen. In my home office, I have all kinds of affirmations that are around me. This is something that I personally turn to when I'm not feeling in control of my life and I'm not feeling safe. And what happens if you don't have a safe place is the disorder can take over because that is your default brain. But I want this place to be your refuge. When the world feels too loud and your mind feels too unsettled and unsafe, you need this place. So identify your safe place. And if you don't have one, I encourage you, even if it is like your closet, get in there, put up some scriptures on the side of the wall, whatever you need to do that grounds you, that brings you back to why recovery is so important for you, that zones out the world, that zones out your mind and all of the negative thoughts about food in your body. Okay, the second safety net that is super important is your safe space. Don't get this confused with your safe place, okay? Your safe space is the mental and emotional headspace that you need for recovery. And this is often created through being with other people, because when your own mind feels like enemy territory, you need spaces where you can share what's really happening, free from judgment, where other people get it because they've been right where you are. And these safe spaces are where you can say, I'm struggling without someone trying to fix you, where people understand the complexity of what it is that you're going through, and where you can realize that you're not alone, or you're not failing, or you're not crazy, or you're not broken, and where you can practice being vulnerable in what I call a more controlled and like structured environment, so that you're not out there by yourself with all the thoughts. It can be really hard to heal in the same physical environment where you are sick in, right? So if you're in the same kitchen every single day, making those same meals, you're on autopilot where your disorder developed, it can be really hard to feel there. And so what is super important, and I talk with my clients about this too, is having a community of like-minded people to sit with you with some of the critical things that you have going on, right? Because if you are in that same environment, it can be on autopilot. And it's important to peel that back and go, okay, I might be in the same kitchen and I might be in this actual same physical environment. However, I have a safe space where people understand me. People are there for me. People can lift me up. And this might look like a support group. Maybe you are in an online community or even a recovery-focused space where you create trust with like-minded people. And so the magic of a safe space, they remind you recovery is possible. This could be a safe space for you to come 2 times a week because you can hear different things that other people are doing in recovery. You can get my thoughts and you can get my guidance as you explore your recovery and you use some of the tools that I talk about week after week. But outside of this podcast, which I'm so grateful that you're here to listen to, it's so important that you have a safe space in addition to a safe physical place, okay? And then the third is what I call a safe face. And this is your people, the people who know what's best for your future self, even when you don't yet, and can provide guidance that's actually truly safe for you. This isn't just anyone who cares about you either, okay? Well-meaning people, they can sometimes push you deeper into your disorder with all of their, I'm quoting, help. But a safe face is someone that understands that eating disorders are complex mental illnesses. A safe face doesn't try to fix with simple solutions, like, I made you dinner, just eat it. A safe face loves you enough to hold boundaries for your recovery, but also push you forward in it. this person can guide you toward your very best self and not enable your disorder. For me, this initially was my mom because she literally was the only person that I felt like I could go to and talk to. But it took time for her to learn how to be truly safe and be that safe face for me. She had to educate herself about eating disorders and really stop trying to fix me with fear tactics. And so when I think about a safe face, yes, while that can be somebody that's in your family that you love, I also believe that having a professional ground you is really that safe person. And I had many therapists before I found the one who was truly safe for me. The diamond in the rough person who really guided me without triggering more shame. If you don't have that person, or maybe you have gone through, like many of my clients, multiple therapists, including myself, I believe in therapy, but I also feel like this is why it is so important to have someone that has gone through recovery help you through yours. And that looks like a coach. Safe faces, they can include therapists, they can include coaches or dietitians, and they can also include really carefully chosen family or friends who are educated about what you are going through. But here's the important underscore from today's message. Creating these 3 safes is the opposite of isolation in your life. When I retreated in my bedroom, I wasn't hiding like I used to in the disorder in my bedroom. I wasn't hiding from life and what was going on around me. I was actually creating a foundation so that I could engage more with life and live more fully. And so it was in my bedroom that I would sit there with my journal and talk to God and talk about all that was going on and why I didn't want to eat that but decided to anyway, and why I was upset about restricting, but then also upset about gaining weight, but then also learning how to be okay with it and really challenging myself. It was in that retreat where I felt protected. And likewise, when I found a community of women who were going through recovery with me, I wasn't avoiding normal people. I was actually building the support that I know I needed to eventually connect authentically with the normal people, because I felt like an alien in my own body during the entire process. And I wanted to be around people that felt like that too. I didn't want to be out with, quote, the normal population judging me for all the things. And when I chose safe faces, I wasn't being overly selective. I was being intentionally selective. I was learning to trust myself about who was truly helpful versus who was harmful in my life. And quite frankly, I had to get an entire new tribe. So these safes, they aren't about hiding from recovery. They're about creating the conditions where recovery can actually happen. So if you are feeling just out of it, like something is wrong, you're not quite getting it, you're in a place in your recovery where you're like, you know what, I feel like sometimes I'm just so down in the situation. Will this ever change for me? At the same time, you do believe, because you listen to this podcast, that there's so much more out there for you in your life, and you don't want to be chained to this forever. And so here's the empowering truth I want you to hear. You don't have to wait for safety to appear. You get to create yours. And for your safe place, I want you to start small. Even if you live with, a bunch of kids and a husband and all the things, claim one corner, one chair, one space that is absolutely yours, where you could have a meal by yourself, where you can make it feel like a sanctuary. That is so important. For your safe space, you might need to join a community where people understand you, and this can also look like creating boundaries and conversations with current people in your life. Like saying something like, I am looking for support, not solutions. Or I'm really looking to make pro-recovery choices, and so I'm not sure that's a great idea. This is important. It is creating a space that you can thrive and bloom and blossom versus creating a space and sitting in a space where it is going to be so easy for you to turn to those behaviors that you're used to. And then for your safe face, I want you to start evaluating who in your life actually feels safe when you're most vulnerable. And I want you to notate that. And then invest in relationships with people who understand mental health and eating disorders. And that looks like considering professional support. Here's the thing. I get told all the time, well, Lindsay, I would love to work with you, but you're private pay, you don't take insurance, and I just don't think I can afford it. And my response to that is, this is an investment. Safety is such an important thing. And finding a professional, I understand I'm not for everyone. I understand that everyone has their own financial situation. And I totally get that. But at the same time, I don't feel like you can truly recover without a level of support that is in your mind, that is able to help you navigate where you are to where you want to go. Because it is so much easier to just fold. It is so much easier. And so again, whether that is a therapist, whether that is a coach, whoever that is for you, it is so important to find someone when you're in a vulnerable state. They can not only lift you up, but push you forward and call you out on your own stuff. That is what I do. The beautiful thing is that when you have a safe place to retreat, you have more energy to seek out safe spaces with other people. And when you have safe spaces, you learn that, okay, you know what? Maybe that is a big investment for me. Or maybe, I'm considering working with this person over here, but I don't really know. And I'm kind of fearful to jump on a call, or I'm kind of fearful to engage in a community. When you start letting your guard down and you have a safe place to retreat in, and you start seeking out some of these things, guess what? The world opens up for you, because you then create a recovery bubble around you where you are inviting women in, like myself, like other people, like other professionals, right? Where they're on your team and we're crushing this thing called recovery together. And that is what you need. You honestly, I don't believe that you can do this by yourself without constantly starting over 500 times. And what I have with my clients is a very safe and nurturing relationship, but it also is like, okay, sis, we're going to level it up a notch. And so what I go back to is, what is it that you need to feel secure and safe in order to invest in yourself, in order to create that space, in order to lean in to an opportunity with someone, in order to go, you know what? Yes, I realize I need this. And I am not waiting one more day and one more hour of my life struggling in my own mess. This person has a helping hand and they're asking to help me, and I'm over here in my own stuff. Do I really want to get freedom from this or not? And that is a really, really insightful question that you can sit with yourself and ask. What I want you to think about this week is an honest evaluation of your current 3 safes. Do you have a physical space where you feel completely at peace, where you can be vulnerable with your own self without judgment from the world? Do you have a community or an environment where you can talk about recovery openly, where people understand what you're going through? And lastly, do you have someone in your life who supports your recovery, who is helpful and who's educated and who can hold space for your healing rather than just trying to fix you? If any of these are missing, then this is your starting point. And here's what I want you to do. Choose one safe to create or strengthen. Maybe it's setting up a cozy corner in your bedroom where you can breathe and be by yourself when those thoughts come in to attack you. Maybe it's joining our private Facebook community. You can go to herbestselfsociety.com and request to join there. It's a space where women understand exactly what you're going through. Maybe it's joining our recovery collective. This is an actual support group of women where we have ongoing chat between sessions and we are there for each other, lifting each other up. It is like nothing I have ever seen. You can find out more at herbestself.co/recovery collective. And if you're ready for a safe face who can provide that professional guidance for your journey, I just want you to know, friend, I'm here. And I help women just like you create all of these safety nets while building a personalized recovery plan that leads to true and lasting freedom with totally no judgment. Because if you've thought it, I've thought it. It's just the way it is with this disorder. Am I right? But here's my challenge to you. Don't just listen to this episode. Do something with this content. You are choosing to spend your time, if you've listened this far into today's show, to really engage in this discussion and listen to what I'm putting out into the world. You can listen to recovery podcasts all day long, But nothing is going to change until you decide to take action on it. So what action are you taking, sis? What is today's episode calling you to do next? Are you creating your safe place this weekend? Are you joining a community? Are you reaching out for support? Your future self is counting on you to build the safety that she needs to heal. If you are looking for that support, I want you to go on out to herbestself.co and fill out a client application. I will meet you there. We will have a casual conversation just about your life, your situation, what you're hoping to achieve, and talk about working together and what that looks like. But recovery happens when you can feel safe enough to let your guard down, and safe enough to be vulnerable, and safe enough to really trust that someone else whom you can trust has lived it and walked it and can help you get there. Create your 3 safes, beautiful. You are building the foundation for your freedom, and I believe in you along the way. Until next time, bye for now. Oh, friend, thank you so much for letting me share what was on my heart today. My hope for this podcast is to help more women find freedom from food and body. If this has empowered or blessed you, let me know. I'd be honored for your rating and review of my show, and I'd love to connect with you in my private Facebook community. You really can move from perfection to purpose. Let's break the chains together. I'll help navigate the way. Until next time, bye for now, girl.